Welcome to Living Under New Mexico Skies, brought to you by Parnall Law. In this episode, we meet Troy Rivas. Troy is the ride host and organizer of the 2026 Albuquerque Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. He's also the creator and host of the How to Father podcast. And you're not going to believe this one, but he's a winner of the Robert Goulet Memorial Mustache American of the Year Award. Troy is passionate about increasing awareness among men of important health issues and concerns. We learned that a third of all males will get prostate cancer in their lifetime. Troy's Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is May 17th and will include a celebration of the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Hey, let's get this episode rolling. Hey, Troy, welcome to Living Under New Mexico Skies, man. It's a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Big time.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. This is awesome.
Tell us a little something about yourself, man. Who are you?
Oh, man. Well, I'm a local realtor here in Albuquerque, father of two wonderful boys. I do a lot of different things, coach soccer. I coach their soccer team. We golf, all the fun stuff with the kids. So really everything is whatever dad needs to be done. That's me right now. Let's see. I enjoy riding motorcycles. I know we'll be talking more about that. And photography. Cool. I do a lot of photography, a lot of wildlife photography.
Yeah, I saw that. I was doing my research. Nice work, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
a lot
love
of fun.
it. So that was nice.
And grew up in Maryland. My mom got a job out here, raped around 2002-ish, around there, 2001.
Yeah.
Been out here ever since, and I absolutely love it here.
Yeah, it's very cool, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it beats Maryland. No, just kidding. Nothing against Maryland. So.
No, the best crab cakes in the world in Maryland. But you can't, like your podcast, you can't beat these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. So I got to ask, man, the Robert Goulet Mustache American of the Year Award.
Yes.
Tell us about that, man.
So it was funny. My oldest son, Camden, his first birthday was a Mr. Man mustache. Excuse me, his baby shower.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I always had a mustache. Let me just let it grow at the tips. And I know right now it's not curled and it's kind of bearded around it. But I had a little mustache, and there's the American Mustache Institute, and based out of St. Louis. It was in Pittsburgh. It's based out of St. Louis, and they have they used to do Mustache American of the Day. So I got nominated on Instagram, Mustache American of the Day. So so of course my head is like, this is awesome. I got a little mustache.
Yeah, you get the wax in there.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. And then I was nominated to be American Mustache Man of the Year, and this is against. MLB pitcher at the time.
Right.
Yeah, so we had a lot of big hitters, mayors. We had business people all over the country. We had Eric Holder, our old attorney general, under Obama, was part of it too, and somehow I came out on top, and it was really cool. The news kind of ran with it, and just like New Mexico, we kind of rally around each other.
Yeah, very cool.
And so in 2013 and 2014, I was the Robert Goulet American Mustache Institute Mustache American of the Year. So
wow, congratulations!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting because Roxy, who you met up the front here at our reception area, she said the gentleman's here with a really cool mustache.
Yes.
So there you go.
I'll
dude.
say it's hiding under there, but it's still there. Yes, sir.
So I'm curious, man. So it all started with it was baby shower, correct?
Baby shower, yes.
Okay, so that's when you did it. So the first time when you kind of went for it.
Well, I kind of went. I mean, I always had like a little mustache just because you needed some facial hair. But it started with that. So it was always, and it was great because from there we did a lot of local beard and mustache competitions for charity. We did for Paws and I think it's Paws and Stripes for helping vets get like service dogs. So we did that at the Celtic Fest every year, and a lot of different things, a lot of different collabs. So that really kind of sparked my interest. I'm like, okay, if you have something, you could use it in a way to give back to the community. So, of course, it was built for my son. Won this. Actually, my friends did a documentary on my mustache.
Everybody, I got to check that out.
It's called the Mustache American of the Year. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, it actually won 2 awards in Santa Fe, the International Film Festival, the Oregon Documentary Film Festival, and in Las Cruces. So it was a fun little thing.
Well, I'm from Santa Fe. Carl's from Oregon, so
I'll send you the link.
Thanks, man.
Yes.
So Movember, I didn't even know what that was.
Yes.
And so I was back in Chicago, and a friend of mine said, hey, you're going to grow a beard for Movember.
Mm-hmm.
He was my boss. He said, you have no option. Start growing.
There you go.
But I had no idea. So the whole Movember thing is a huge, again, I don't think enough men know exactly what it is and what the purpose is.
The purpose is, of course, if No Shave November, Movember,
right.
It's all benefiting men's health in general.
Yes.
And it's a solidarity of like, I'm going to grow out my facial hair no matter how. And it's funny because I know a lot of guys do it every year, and they start in October so they could be fuller by the end of the month instead of just
and then shave it all off. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
yes.
keep it going.
It's been 13 years. I never took it off.
There you go. That's good.
But I haven't worked on this yet.
You know what? The key of it is do not shave your lip. That's the grooming tip of the day.
Interesting.
Just let it grow, and then it will just start naturally, just kind of flowing and curling up. So there's
this is great. You got me. I'm now I'm going to start looking at this.
Yes.
Thank you.
But Movember, the Movember movement was a big, and there are a lot of sports stars started doing it and stuff like that. But it's all this solidarity of like, hey man, we got to stick together. We got to help each other up, lift each other up when it comes to mental health, any kind of ailments or anything of that nature.
I love it.
Yes.
That's really cool. Yeah, I guess what's interesting is when I was doing research, I always want to get kind of smart on our guests.
Yes.
And when I was taking a look at your background, I saw your podcast, How to Father Pod.
Yes.
And what I found is your dedication, which I think we'll talk about in a little bit, Distinguished Gentleman Ride. But earlier on, I know you were solid into men's information.
Yes.
Men's health, both mental, physical.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about that, man. I see that, the majority of information out there is targeted to women.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But we've both probably known individuals who could have used more information.
100%. My kiddos at school, there's a park right next to the school. So it was interesting to see. Typically you think kids, moms picking up kids, going to the park, doing this stuff. But there was a pretty good father presence at this park, and so all the dads will kind of huddle up, hang out, we'll chit chat and talk, and then we had a lot of new dads who were like, I don't know what to do with this situation or with that. And so it was kind of this, I'm sitting there listening to these dads kind of go back and forth and really helping each other out, and I was like, I wonder if there's a podcast out there for fathers.
Yeah.
So I type in father on my Apple podcast, and it was Father Archdiocese of whatever.
And
then the next page was all mom podcasts, which is great. I love that the moms are there, but I was like, well, there's not really, and there's some father podcasts out there, but to the level or the exposure where I think it should be, it was very minimal. And then so I sat there and I said, you know what? I talk. I know a lot of dads.
Come on.
That let's start this journey to see, and really the idea of how to father. We're all still learning, and it does take a village, and it does take training and understanding, because we don't have this maternal instinct. We don't have a
Thank
lot.
you.
Yes, I'm still figuring this out.
Me too.
Even with two kids, one's a teenager and one's darn near close behind them, and so it's been a great journey. The second season is going to start back up here again.
Very cool.
Here in about a couple of weeks, and no, it's been awesome just to really let dads know and men know it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not know. The best thing you could do is say I love you to your kid, and then say I'm sorry. Let me figure this out. Let me be vulnerable. And I think that transcends just fatherhood, but manhood in general. Not I got to be tough through it all. You have to realize that there's some vulnerabilities in life that we do need each other to help each other out.
Thank you. I think that's really important.
Yes.
I mean, you have two kids. I have three. And I used to tell people, there's no instruction manual.
There's zero.
There's some books written decades ago, but they were, again, I hate to say it, but they're all targeted to women.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. The maternal instinct, the mom, that's a bond. You can, but I love the fact that you bonded with a bunch of guys outside the school picking up kids. Or soccer practice,
and that's the nice thing about it. And it's fun, it's cool. I've had other fathers reach out from just Instagram, like, I had an episode about truck driver, a father from the school who's a truck driver, and he was talking about how to balance that life of being a truck driver
and gone
and being gone, and then he became a truck driver when he had his first daughter. Like it was like boom.
Man.
And so balancing that whole thing, and I had a few truck drivers email me saying, hey, that episode really helped and changed like my idea how to look as being a father. And again, it's me allowing other dads just to talk about fatherhood.
Well, this is important because absolutely. And on the whole father thing, but then also just the men's other side, which is health, both physical and mental.
Yes.
I know that distinguished gentlemen, you guys it's the whole thing with prostate cancer.
Yes.
And you know what? My dad got it.
Okay.
And it was a shock. And then recently, what's really interesting is a good friend of mine, same thing.
Yes.
And shame on me. See, I need to get in for some tests. I haven't. And it's in my, my family history. So, but what's interesting about that is both of those guys did barbaric, the old school surgeries, and now I hear that there's this new beamed protein treatments that are not invasive. You don't have to have surgery.
Exactly.
But why aren't we telling more men about this? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things that I think men don't want to hear about.
I know.
That's another hard thing about it. This year we're partnering with the New Mexico Prostate Society, their foundation.
Excellent.
Which is awesome because and we'll talk more about the DGR. It's a global event, but we want to really focus on our local men here in New Mexico and see how we could promote and be an awareness and even informational tool to them. Because again, men, we don't know. Do we turn left and cough? What do we do? How do we get things checked out? And it's like, I don't want to lose this. A lot of men don't know what they don't know, and we're too stubborn to even ask the question.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I noticed that I think is important is you also say that in the Distinguished Gentleman ride that there's also a thing with mental health.
Yes.
And that is so key. I had a good friend. He was my mentor friend, my boss. And, he didn't have anyone to speak to about something. Yeah. And right before June, which I don't even think he even knew that there was mental health month for men.
Yes.
He took his own life.
Yes.
And it took me a year to get over that. And it's sad.
It's very sad because we feel, of course, there's a guilt, right? There's I wish I saw the signs.
Why didn't I know the signs? Why didn't I ask?
Or maybe if I said the right thing, or our last conversation, if it went a little differently, or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something that why we start. Another reason why about the podcast. Another reason why the DGR is such a big passion for me, is because men we don't know, and honestly, we barely know most things, and we can't tell those signs. We can't see those signs, and that's something that we have to really promote. Like, hey. We're here to talk to you. I won't check your prostate, but I'll listen to you. I'll listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's interesting you said that because and again, doing my research, men 2 to 3 times the number of suicides as women.
Yes.
Women may think about it or maybe try a little bit, but men are more successful, and it's sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because again, somewhere in our DNA or in our growing up or how we were taught to be tough, not to talk about these kinds of topics.
It's not manly to be vulnerable.
Yes.
It's not manly to really share your feelings. Empathy is not for the man, it's for the woman. You have to push through, and then when you feel like you failed, you're like, well, I can't show my failures. I can't do this. And honestly, showing your failures is probably the best thing you do, because now you know what's the next step. I teach my boys all the time, solution. You cut your hand. It hurts. Yeah, sure, it hurts. What's the next step? Are you going to get a Band-Aid, make it feel better? Are you going to put some ice pack on it? Or are you just going to sit there and like, my hand? I wish I didn't do this, and blame these auxiliary things that really have no merit to what the next step is.
You know what? If it's not on one of your podcast episodes, get that one in there, because you know what's really interesting about that? You put it down at the simplest level.
Yes.
You cut your hand, you put a Band-Aid on, you clean it. Mental health, you hit something, it's a stumble, something's really just bothering you, and you should learn that.
Exactly.
It's okay to get off the treadmill or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And ask for help. Talk to someone. Find someone to speak with.
And that's something, even I think men are afraid to say, hey, I need help. But everyone else saying, hey, I can help. Yeah. So it's a two-way street. We have to, as men, realize that we have to be vulnerable and say that. I was at one of my good friend, actually my youngest son's godfather. We had his diaper party, and I've told this story before, but we're having our drinks, having our laughs, having a good time. But there was about 30 men, nothing around. We went around the table talking about Drew, who's the godfather, and why we feel like he's going to be a good dad. There was not a dry eye in the back patio. And it was at that moment I looked at it and I said, this is manhood. This is how we should be. We should encourage, we should uplift, we should enlighten, we should be vulnerable, we should be emotional.
Really well done.
And then at the end of the day, we can still be us. Nothing has changed besides an enlightened moment of, hey, we got your back. We're here for you. And he sees, I have this tribe. I have these people here for me and for my family.
I love it, man.
Yes.
And you know what? It transcends to other parts of life.
Yes.
I love it. Because, what's going on with this whole thing with men thinking that they've hit the end of the road in their, I guess, the 50s is when the whole, I'm going to take my life thing starts to increase.
Yes.
And that's just sad. I mean, why not do this, have a party or have a get-together and talk about this stuff?
There's a lot of people. I saw a story about a guy who texted a wrong Eric for a bachelor party. Like, hey, we're going to be here at this time. And he texted Eric that was in his office, older gentleman. And he showed up with, like, they had a paintball. It was like a paintball thing.
Yeah.
So he showed up with all his tactical gear because I guess he paintballed and did all this stuff. And they're like, oh, shoot, we said the wrong Eric. And the guy, they're like, well, we can't turn him away now. Yeah. He drove this far to be part of it. And the guy, so then he brought steaks and paintballs. And so he said, I haven't been invited to a guy's trip in 20 years. And they said that Eric just destroyed him. They took them all out, was the special ops, did all this stuff. And then we went back to the Airbnb. He made all these wonderful steaks.
And grilled steak.
And we just talked, and he said, and it was like, he's no longer invited to our wedding. He's a part of the wedding. He's in the grooms, and that's the thing.
Communication.
It takes that communication. And even if it's a miss up, like, oh, whoops, invite your buddy, talk to someone, see someone, smile at him, shake his hand, look him in the eye, and just be human to each other.
That's an amazing story. You know what's interesting? You and I are fortunate. More people should do podcasts.
Yes.
Because I meet so many people like you. I never would have met.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'd shown up at your bike event.
Yeah,
maybe I'd gone somewhere else, or I'd been that dad with you, standing there with picking the kids up after school.
Exactly.
But this forces us to open up and get to know people.
Yes.
So we're pretty fortunate.
You know what? And everyone's like, oh, another podcast. You have a voice. You have. That's why every time a dad's on, I'm sitting there just taking notes. Like, oh wow, that's a great way to I learn probably more than they do.
Yes.
Every time they're on the podcast.
You. Same here.
And I'm like, this is helping me out, and it helps me become a better father to
See, what I find interesting is after every episode, Carl will come and we'll debrief, and he'll go, that was amazing. I can't believe you guys talked about that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So, well, hey, I guess we've covered a lot of this, but I think now what I'd really like to do is talk about Distinguished Gentleman Ride. And I got to tell you, that's a mouthful. I'm going to call it DGR.
DGR,
like you did.
DGR, yes.
But congratulations. I think I mentioned earlier, you guys did incredible numbers last year.
Yes,
I know you're looking to get bigger, but tell us a bit about this event and kind of, how did they all get put together?
So the kind of wrapping everything up with what we've talked about, the Movember movement.
Right.
So the Movember movement, based out of Australia, they decided, I think about 12, 15 years ago. Of course, we had some COVID breaks in there. Then let's do a dapper ride where you dress dapper, men and women, so gentle folk.
Right.
And it's a worldwide event. So every third Sunday in May, everywhere around the world, of course, time zone.
Yeah.
Everyone gets up, they go to their local meetup spot, and they'll do a nice little jaunt around their city, their town, their village.
So cool.
I mean, you'll see videos coming out of like Argentina or Germany, rolling into castles. It's such a wonderful event, but it's all benefiting men's mental and prostate health. And so it's a free ride. You could sign up. You could just be a part of the ride. Of course, it's not just the money; it's the awareness.
Right.
And so we want to have the awareness factor. I think last year over 1.3 million was raised worldwide.
Wow.
And the numbers have been going up every single year. And then even for us locally, we had 215 riders, which was a record.
Right.
And we raised over 20,000, which was a record here locally.
Congratulations.
And then this year our goal is, of course, supersede that. Even the monetary number is a big thing. But again, the awareness. We want to make sure people know, like, hey, check your prostate. Go just get a checkup in general. And then, of course, the mental health, talking with each other. But it's such a great event. We've always been lucky with great weather. We had one time we had a hailstorm hit us, but it worked out because if you understand riding motorcycles, you don't want to be riding through a hailstorm because of how physics work. Boom, you're getting pelted at a very higher rate. But we were just sitting there in traffic, and by the time we ended up in Corrales, we're bone dry.
Welcome to New Mexico.
Welcome to New Mexico, yes.
Yeah, rode through it, so
exactly.
That's really cool.
But it's Parnall Law firm, a lot of different local great businesses here that are very involved in this this event locally.
We're really psyched.
And our goal is, of course, to give back more locally to the community by partnering with local therapists, partnering with the Prostate Cancer Society of New Mexico, and a local hotel, Rive Hotel. It's a new boutique hotel that's right there, 8th and Central.
Right.
I'll say, what do you need? It's yours.
I ride my bicycle past there, and I see all the events they're doing.
They're doing a lot because this year is the Route 66 Centennial.
Yes,
100 years.
So it is right
so
there.
We're going to be. So that's kind of cool to attach to DGR.
Wow.
We're going to be right on that Route 66 route for a good stretch, and so it's going to be an exciting time. If you're an out of town guest or in town guest, Arrive Hotel is going to do a pretty good room discount for any DGR members or anyone that's associated with it. So we're excited for this year's ride.
Yeah, we're excited here at Parnall Law to be involved.
Yes.
And and this is what's interesting. Bert Parnall and his dad, his father, his dad was a huge motorcyclist.
Yes.
And so was Bert.
Yes.
And it's so cool to see that, this event, it's just perfect fit.
It's a great time. Again, being on two wheels, there's a freedom to it, right? There's this responsibility, but there's this freedom. And we don't discriminate. You can have a scooter. You can have a 50cc up to a 5,000cc. That's a lot of bike, but I don't think there's one out there. 1800 usually the biggest ones, but we just dress up, wear a helmet.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
Of course, but you still have to be able to see that.
Yes. So there's the mustache.
Nice.
The beard is probably going to be gone. A lot of people like the beard.
Yeah. Very
but
nice.
I'm typically just a mustache only guy.
Yeah, so, it's funny. That looks good, but I've seen so many photos of you, images on the internet of you with the full wax, which looks pretty sweet.
Yes.
So that's great, man. So what kind of bike do you ride? I'm curious.
So I have a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. So it's a British motorcycle, but they manufacture them in India to keep the cost down. So beautiful bike. It's a cafe style, red, white. It's called the Baker Express is the style, but red, white with a little gold strip down the middle. So hopefully you could join the ride or at least be a part of it at the end party or whatever the case is.
Like I was telling you, I've been checking with friends and CJ here at our office. I'm tempted to go. I'm not going to go overboard and get something big, but I'm tempted to get a little something for fun. Something I can ride easily and just kind of come with you guys.
It's a leisurely ride. Right. We, as you know, Albuquerque is a beautiful city to ride around. We do a nice loop around the town, so we're not cutting through the traffic too much. And so you'll get the Sandia vistas. We'll ride along the Sandias.
Gorgeous.
Come down. Hopefully the buffaloes are running right next to us there by the casino, and then get down to the river valley and roll right into downtown.
That sounds great.
It's going to be a beautiful time once again. Yeah,
we're really looking forward to it. This has been an incredible conversation, man, and we're going to stay in touch because I'd love to have you come back. We'll talk more about some of the things we're doing. You're doing.
Yes.
But thank you, all this education, and remind us what weekend or date is it
So
again?
May 17th, if you go to gentleman'sride.com, you'll see the prompts. You can find region, country, state, city. Pre-registration is open now.
Okay.
Full registration should be open in about a week.
Great.
Once you do if you've already signed up in the past, it's just log in, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But still, make sure you register. You can register all the way into the day of.
Great.
We're going to have a couple of different registration events throughout. So if you follow, we have a DGR_ABQ Instagram, so you can figure out what our next events are, etc. And May 17th, gentleman'sride.com. If you don't ride and you feel passionate about donating, you could donate to the ride itself.
Okay.
You could donate to specific riders. And just go from there. Just any money helps.
Yeah.
And of course, if you know anyone that again needs to talk to someone, then they can reach out at the DGR_ABQ, and we'll love to grab a coffee or something like that.
That's so cool, man. I really appreciate it.
Just to make it bigger than just a fun day.
Yeah, well, we're going to push it out to all of our folks, our network, our pod, and we'll do everything we can to help promote this. So I look forward to it, man. I look forward to seeing you out there on the 17th.
I'm excited for it. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Troy. It's a pleasure for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah, good stuff, and we're going to stay in touch.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.